Hey there, friends. It's Lindbergh, and this is the Couch to Active podcast. Oh my goodness. Today, we've got a treat for you. His name is William Pickernell, also known as Nativesaiyan on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Insta. He has been on an amazing, this is Bill. He goes by Bill. He's been on an amazing journey going from being literally bedbound because of his weight to now he is rocking it, and this health and fitness journey he's doing is so amazing and so inspiring. I found out about him through the social media algorithm, since I'm into all things health and wellness and body positivity and all that. Facebook and Instagram is what I was on. They decided hey, Lynn, you might like this guy. And sure enough, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to bring him on the podcast. I have to bring him on to tell his story, because Bill has, when you add up all his platforms, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, almost 1 million followers. On TikTok alone, he has almost 200 million likes of his videos and his shorts. And they are so inspiring, so real. You get to see him doing the things, doing the journey, real time, day in and day out. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't gloss it over and make it all shiny. You know me. I tend to be a little Pollyanna, and I try really hard not to be. He's real. And I just loved having him on the podcast. So if you are brand new, I got a couple things to do for you to do. If you are brand new to the Couch to Active podcast, go to your app store right now, Android or iPhone, either one. Go to your app store right now, type in Couch to Active, and you'll see an app there. That is our app. That is the best way to listen to this podcast and not lose track of it. It'll put that little icon on your phone, your device, and you'll be able to know anytime there's a new episode. You can put it there. You can favorite your favorite episodes. You can save them for later. It's really cool. Then Couch to Active is the app. If you are brand new to Bill, our guest, I want you to follow him and check out his stuff. I have been telling everybody I know about Bill, and everyone comes back to me and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy is so inspiring. I'm like, yeah, I know. Wait till you hear the interview. So follow him on your platform, whether it's TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Insta, all of them. This will all be in the show notes. So head over to the show notes. But his tag for all of them is Nativesaiyan. So take a moment. Native, Nativesaiyan, Nativesaiyan. It's in the show notes. Follow him, especially give him a follow on YouTube, because that's one there's really specific reasons we want to get him to grow that YouTube space. If you are new to Couch to Active, that is actually the business that supports this podcast. And we are all about exactly that, making that journey from couch to active. So right now, while you're listening to this episode, go to couch2active.com website, check out what's going on there. Our homepage usually says a little bit about what's going on, but we've got online group fitness, we've got personal training, we've got weight management support, all kinds of good stuff, all about just living the best life we can live with the realities that we've got today. So there we go. Without any further ado, I want to just dive in, and I'm giving you the whole interview with Bill all in one format here, and without breaks for advertisement. So please make sure you support Bill, support Couch to Active by heading into the show notes, looking at those 3 things I just talked about, checking them out, doing those things, because it definitely is an effort worthy of supporting. So without any further ado, let's head into our interview conversation that I had with Bill. You're so prolific on social media.
Yeah.
Every day. How many videos are you
probably about 3,500 videos in the last 2.5 years, 3.
Oh my gosh. So more than one a day. Mm-hmm. Way more.
Oh yeah. So I remember one day I challenged myself and make 100 videos in one day, and yeah, I made 91, I think, and I was like, I just can't.
Are you kidding me? 91 videos in one
Yeah.
day? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah, so I've been following you for a couple years now, and your journey, and what I've gotten is bits and pieces, just for a couple of years now. Oh, here's William doing a 1-minute challenge. Here's William, no longer needing a wheelchair. Now he doesn't need a walker anymore. Now he's swimming. Now he's at the gym. And now, so I wanted to give you an opportunity to have a long format to talk as long as you want, as much as you want, to let folks really see the whole picture of your journey the last few years. So first of all, William, thank you for being on here. Bill
was good.
Bill. Okay. Yep. Okay. Thanks. Why don't you tell folks just a little bit about who you are, and then we'll just start diving in. Yeah.
So what I do is I do weight loss, but then I stopped naming it weight loss and started naming it my health journey.
Yep.
Because when you're talking about, for me, over the last 2.5 years, when I'm learning myself, it's not weight loss. You're doing fat loss. Because when you lose weight, you're losing muscle mass. You're losing so much other things. And
yeah.
Like I want to build muscle and I want to lose body fat. So I just changed it to health loss, health fitness journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you've been on this. Can you just take folks really quickly through where you started from bedbound to where you are today, and then we'll dive into different parts in a little more detail. Yeah.
So back in 2019, I was bedbound for 364 days. I refused for it to be a year. So I'd say about 10 months into being bedbound, I was like, I don't want this to be my life. I don't want to be, to pass away in my bed.
Yeah.
So I refused for it to be a year. Let's do something. And I started out working out and like doing stuff in bed. Like literally, we have a king size bed.
Yeah.
I rolled from one side of the bed to the other.
Yep.
Rolled from one side of the bed to the other, turned 90 degrees. And that was my very first workout, was just rolling in the bed.
Yeah.
It's something, active body.
Yep.
That's all we want,
Yeah. And then how did you make the transition from that to wheelchair?
It took a long time for the bedbound to wheelchair, because what we had to do was find help, assistance, and we had none. And so when I was bedbound, we had to call 911. And
do you mind sharing that story? Because I know just a few days ago you shared it on social. Yeah. Why don't we just dive right into that story?
So what I have is plantar fasciitis, rheumatoid arthritis, but there's like 8 different things, and 4 of them are in my right foot. Gout is another one, and they all decided to flare up all at once.
Okay.
And I couldn't stand up, and the doctor told me, it's just gout, and let's up your gout medicine. It's just gout. And then I was like, it's not fixing after a week. Yeah. Oh, let's change medicine then.
Yeah.
And then we changed to a new medicine. We upped the medicine. We changed it. We upped it. We changed medicine. They thought it was just gout without even looking at me, because I couldn't go in.
Okay. So here you are, you're bedbound. You're calling the doctor. And just based on what you're telling them, the doctor's giving you diagnoses without actually getting blood work, without actually having them look at what's going on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. I've had a lot of bad experiences with doctors, and that's one of the worst. I wouldn't even say it's the worst, because it gets worse with a lot of doctors I've been with. They kept telling me, like, it's your gout, just come in. I have a lot of patients who have gout who still come in. And literally they said, you're being lazy, just come in. That's what they told me. And, Yeah.
Oh,
and I kept telling them, this is so much different than gout.
Yeah.
Because gout is in my big toe. It's right under it. I know what gout feels like. This is so different.
Yeah.
It's my whole entire foot. It's the arc of my foot. It's, right under my pinky toes and all the way to my ankle. It's my heel. It's my, I was trying to explain it. This is not gout.
You're like, something else is going on. Yeah.
And they just insisted, just changing your medicine. Try a different one. Change your medicine. Like, it was frustrating.
Yeah. Totally.
And then after, I'd say 3 months, I think it was 4 months, that they finally we'll send someone out to your house and take a look. And it took 30 seconds for the doctor to be like, we apologize. We thought you just didn't want to come in.
Wow.
We definitely need a specialist to come in. And since we can't see you, we're going to have someone come in. And so they found out that it was a hardcore case of plantar fasciitis. And then I have a sciatica nerve damage, because just before I bedbound, they put me in a walking boot, and then the walking boot and my regular thing, it makes you kind of walk.
Your gait was off, and it messed up your lower back. And so then you have this sciatica. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Okay.
And so the sciatic nerves and the hip, on my left side of my hip, it feels like shocking pain goes from the top of my hip all the way down to my toes, back up to my hip.
Yep.
24/7.
Even today?
Mm-hmm. Even
today?
Mm-hmm.
Even right now?
Yep.
Even right now.
And then on my right side, the whole, like I'd say about 75% of my hip,
yep,
I can't feel. It's no feeling on it.
Oh, fascinating. Fascinating. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And they didn't believe me because they started going like this. And I'm like, it feels, why you just keep poking in one spot? Because it's
you didn't. So they're touching your thigh,
and
feeling
not just
it.
Like touch it. They're like pricking it with a needle. I'm ow. And then
nothing.
And then ow. I'm like, you're so weird. Why you keep poking it here and here? They're like, we're poking it throughout your whole leg just to see. And they markered everywhere in it. It's about 75% of my head.
A big section that's numb from that. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So I want to keep talking about the story about when you called 911 and they came and picked you up. Before we dive there, if there's someone who's listening who is in a similar position and they feel like they're at home, they can't get to the doctors. You already know where I'm going with this, don't you? And they feel like they're not getting the care they need. They feel like they're not being heard. What's your advice to them to get the care they need sooner? I know.
Kept calling different doctors.
Yeah.
Just keep trying.
Yep.
Go further out. Because from what I found out is the doctors in one area, like say Mason County, Thurston County, they talk to each other. Okay. And they're like, let's not work with him because he's known to be late. He's known to not show up. He's known to, so they keep track. So go a little bit further. Maybe Whitman County or maybe Seattle. Maybe, let's go to Bremerton instead. Let's go to,
Fascinating. Mm-hmm. Fascinating. And is that how you ended up getting help? Was by reaching out further?
Yeah, we went. We had to call a doctor from Seattle, and we just kept going a little bit further and further. Like, I don't care what we have to do. Let's keep calling doctors even further. You got to
advocate for yourself. Yeah, that's one of the things I tell clients all the time is just working with doctors, especially when you have chronic health issues. It's so frustrating because it's just to be able to even explain what's going on. It's such a big, long story. And then you, as somebody who's dealing with chronic pain 24/7, your pain tolerance is so high that when a doctor says, what's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? You're like, you're probably at an 11 or 12, but you might report a 6 because to you it's a 6, Yeah. So you're there, you call 911. Did you call 911? No, not yet. Not yet. So at that point you hadn't yet. What happened then?
So one of the days when I was bedbound, it hurt way more than normal. Like, it got so bad with my plantar fasciitis because we didn't know it was plantar fasciitis. Easiest fix. Roll it on ice, bottle of water, like tennis ball, something that'll get that muscle loose and like getting them tendons loose. And like, it's easy fix. But if you don't treat it, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And the littlest thing, like my wife's shirt would graze against my foot and it'll send shocking pain.
Oh my gosh.
And this was worse than, I think, one of the worst pains I've ever felt. Even worse when I broke my bone and the bones came out of my arm. Like, it was terrible. Yeah.
From the plantar fasciitis. Fascinating. So you just did the plantar fasciitis and then what? It got better?
No.
Okay. Let's adjust the 12 meds, but all we need is just rolling our foot on ice, actually. Okay. So what was next then?
It was, one day it was just so terrible. I couldn't even move around the bed. I literally had my foot elevated, doing what they said, compress it, elevate it, ice it, stay off it, which I was bedbound, so staying off it was easy. Yeah. And I just screaming in pain, and I was like, it's every time it throbs, which is every second, every 2 seconds, it was worse and worse. And then she's like, we have to call 911. And I was like, how am I going to get there? We can't get there. And the ambulance came, and it took them like 10 minutes to figure out how to get me from my bedroom to the inside the ambulance.
Yeah.
And they're like, he's too big to fit on the gurney. So we have a tarp that we use to move heavy objects, like bricks and everything, when they're like going into houses or, So they had me roll over on one side of the bed, and they put the tarp down and rolled me over on the other side so they could pull the tarp and cover my whole bed, and had a guy on each corner, had a guy in the middle. So 6 guys, and one of the firefighters, which is fire lady. I don't know what they call it. Fire lady?
Person?
The fire person? Yeah.
Firefighter?
Yeah, she was leading, like saying, okay, watch out for this. And one person in the back to make sure like everything's good. But to get me out of that room was just, it felt like an hour, but it was probably like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because it was so embarrassing. Like you're getting carried by 6 men, you know?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is in that moment, you're getting carried out on a tarp by 6 men. You're 674. 674 at this time. What's going through your mind?
That was my rock bottom. That's my why. Like, where do I never ever want to be again? Right there. That's, a lot of people, you don't start making changes until you hit rock bottom. And that was mine. Like, I never want to be in that situation again. I never want to experience that. And yeah.
So then they took you to the hospital, but not in a gurney.
On the ground of the ambulance.
Yeah. So they set you down on the ground of the ambulance.
Yeah. Doing all the tests, testing my blood, like pricking my finger, doing everything on the ground of the ambulance.
And then what?
And God, they were so clumsy. Getting from the ambulance on the ground to getting, because not the ambulance, but the hospital had like sturdy beds. So they took one of their sturdy beds and I got to lay on one of their beds.
Okay.
So I told them, watch out for my foot. That's what's hurting real bad.
Yeah.
And they hit my foot on the door. They hit my foot on the door of the ambulance, the door of the door of the hospital, like everything. And one person actually accidentally kicked it. Like, that's why I said they were really, really clumsy.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And made it worse at that time. But
oh wow. So you get to the hospital and then do they admit you? Are you there for a while or what?
I was there for, I think it was like 20 hours.
Okay. Treating you and taking care of you and all that.
So they had to move me from the regular room that they were going to put me into one that was like, they said, this one's our most sturdy bed and it has the scale on the bed.
Yeah. So
they just raised me up. I think it wasn't even that far, like maybe a foot, and said, your weight is 674. And
because you didn't know at that point. You didn't know. Okay.
So in my mind, I was like, I'm maybe 480, 490, maybe, because at that time before bedbound, I was 435-ish.
Yeah.
I've always been really big since adulthood. Like all my adulthood, I've always been the 400s.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay. So that was your rock bottom. So then when you come home, what's different? What changed?
Basically at the ER visit, they said, you should try to find an in-house, like weight loss, bariatric facility, something that you could watch you for months and lose the weight there.
Yep. And
we found out that they only do that either if you have a lot of money or celebrities.
Yeah. Is that not the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No insurance is even going to pay for it either. So
Nope. And even like on television, when you watch those extreme weight loss resorts and things, well, one, they're not really necessarily the healthiest thing in the world at all. But two, they are expensive.
Yep.
They are very expensive and they want you there for 6 months minimum at thousands a week, for 6 months. It makes it okay. So then you had an even bigger barrier then. You're looking at, I don't get celebrity treatment. There is no red carpet for Bill.
Yep.
What do you do? How do you,
So what we looked into next was actually doing the bariatric surgery, either the sleeve or I forgot what the other one is, because the
bypass or the sleeve.
Yep, bypass or the sleeve.
Yeah.
That's what we looked into. And I was actually doing research on them both, like which one would be the best. And then we actually and I was their first Zoom call because it just hit. No, it wasn't 2020 yet. This is in 2018.
Okay.
And they've never had someone who wasn't able to go in because I'm completely bedbound. I can't do anything. And so they're like, we will make it wasn't Zoom. What was the one before Zoom?
Probably Skype.
Skype. That was it. Yeah.
I know.
I'm like, what was it?
I was actually cleaning up my computer just yesterday, deleting apps I don't use anymore. And just yesterday deleted Skype because I was like, wow, this is really weird to delete Skype because it's old technology. Okay, so you're on the dinosaur Skype, which back then was cutting edge. 4 years ago was totally cutting edge. Yeah. And so they took that call, and then what came of that?
So that was I want to say it was 2019 because that was just a few months before I started getting better. Because I started roaming around December of 2019, so must have been summer of 2019.
Okay.
I think the timelines are weird because when you have COVID, then you're bedbound, then you have this, then it was just.
I know
it's all
mushed together. Don't worry, it's all good. It's all good.
So I want to say middle of 2019, we had that meeting, and he said, "Here's what we can do. This or this. Your insurance is not going to pay for it, but I have Indian Health, and they said they would help provide for as much as they can."
Okay.
And so they said, we can do it. So I'm on the list. You have to do so much like dietitian, and you have to go to counseling. You have to do, you have to lose X amount of weight before we even attempt to do it. You have to do like there's a big old list.
It's a big process. I think one of the you tell me if this was your experience, but I think one of the misconceptions about bariatrics is it's an easy way out. It's not at all. It's not at all. Yeah. Was that your experience too?
I didn't have it. So
I know you didn't have it, but just going through the process
through the process is really hard. Yeah.
Of even considering it. Yeah. Yeah. So
because we had to do, I want to say it was 10 council meetings to make sure your mind is ready for it, because they said you're going to lose such a dramatic weight in the first few months that you don't know how to process it at that moment. And then they said you have to go through dietitian classes so you know how to eat properly, but not only eat properly, but eat like
small, like walnut size. Yeah.
And then they said you have to lose weight on your own just that we know you're disciplined enough to do it. So there's like, this is not going to be like, okay, we sign up on Monday, we're going to do it Friday.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. So did you go through some of that process?
I went through it all.
You went through it all.
So the thing is, I went through it all. We had just just 2 more therapy sessions left, and I was going through it, and then March of 2020 happened.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So they closed literally everything down. No more doctor appointments, no more bariatric surgery, no more, like literally nothing. And they said, we're going to have to put you on hold, and we don't know when we're going to follow up through, because nobody knows.
Darn COVID.
Yeah.
Wow. So you'd gone through, okay. I just got to let that sink in. I just got to let that sink in for a minute. Because I think about, we were all impacted by COVID in big ways, but this is huge. You're going through this whole process of potentially doing the bypass the sleeve surgery for bariatrics. You're doing everything, the counseling, all that. And then it's like,
and I lost 60 pounds on my own. They only wanted 50, but I lost 60
on your own.
They were happy about that.
Good. And then they're just like, we're just going to pull this needle off the record and let the record spin. And you're just watching it like, okay, now what? So then what happened? Because COVID is when everybody gained their weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that because in my mind, I don't want to go back to, the ambulance call.
Yeah.
So, but now that I look back at it, like when I look back to 2020, of the effort I was putting in 5% effort and expecting 100% results. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this.
Yep.
But that's literally all I'm doing. I'm doing 5%. I'm changed one meal out of my whole day, and that's it. I wasn't really putting in the work, but in my mind, I thought I was.
Yeah. Well, in your mind, you probably really were putting in the work, though. Because if you think about the lifestyle changes you're making, making lifestyle changes is a big deal. It's not going
to happen overnight either.
No.
Like I'm still changing things. Like holidays is really the worst for like anybody, but especially when I don't know if you're very involved with cultures. Like Native American culture is very evolved around food, very evolved around like get-togethers and food and, fried bread and chili. And like, we're very cultured people.
Yeah.
So food, having a culture evolved around food is really hard.
Food is love. Food is relationships. Yep. Tell me I got to change my love and relationships when you tell me I got to change my food. And
then you have elders who tell you, if you don't try our food, you're disrespecting us. If you don't finish everything on your plate, it's disrespectful. Finish everything on your plate or it's disrespectful. Like people, I don't hear hardly anybody ever talking about cultural, dietitian and cultural like stuff like that.
No, I don't see it a lot in the textbooks. I hear about it more in the South because the South, food is love. My son's in the South right now. He's going to college down there. And when I visit him, I get it. Food is love. Food is like, and the other healthier options are gross.
Yeah.
They taste like sadness.
Yeah.
So COVID happens. You don't want to go back, but you don't have the support network yet. So please, I'm on the edge of my seat.
I didn't know what to do. So I just stayed with what I was doing was 1 minute shadow boxing, 30 second shadow boxing, and walking 5 steps, 10 steps, or whatever I can, like very minimal stuff. And
so somewhere in here, then you're not bedbound anymore. You were able to.
It was December of 2019. when I really like my first stand-up was 2 inches.
Wow. Yeah.
3 inches off my bed, and it was just that. And then I had to sit back down, and I couldn't. I was winded. Like it took all my strength, my arm strength, because I had the walker pushing up, and I had my legs pushing up. And
Yeah. Okay. So when you're doing that, getting up for the first time, where's your mindset then? Is it just focused on like, I'm just doing this. I'm not thinking esoterically about my whole life in context of this, or
so at that time, I remember that because in my mind, I'm like, this is the turning point in my life of not being bedbound anymore. This is like, I already knew in my mind, this is gonna be the story I tell people when I am skinny. In my mind, I like to plan way, way ahead of things. Like I've literally, like, I think it was a week after that, I made a video talking to myself. I could show you that video, but I'm talking to myself on a video saying, when you are skinny, this video is for you.
Oh my gosh.
So I already planned way ahead of, like, I already know I'm going to succeed this time, because I tried, failed hundreds of times. I couldn't even tell you how many times.
Oh my gosh.
I tried every diet out there that you probably never even heard of, type of thing. I was that like determined back in the day, and I stayed 400s, my whole entire adulthood.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the Hollywood diet. I don't think people remember that drink. It was like a tomato juice thing that was called the Hollywood drink.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That one is not on my top 10 that I usually rattle off, is like, because people remember the grapefruit diet. Mm-hmm. We all remember keto, and we're like, oh yeah, paleo. That was a thing, wasn't it?
The carnivore diet.
Like the carnivore diet. Oh yeah.
Intermittent fasting is a huge one. Yeah.
Intermittent fasting is, I think that's the latest fad. Mm-hmm. But intermittent fasting is not a fad. It's been around for thousands of years. We're like, it's kind of it's the fad right now. So even though it's got some good pieces to it. So you know what? I love how strategic you are in forward thinking, because even how I got to know you was through TikTok, and some of the algorithms were like, oh, Lynn does fitness stuff. She'll probably like William Pickernell. And I'm like, who is this guy? And I realize you're just prolific on social, and you just have such an amazing heart for the people who are going through a similar journey, and so realistic. And I think one thing that's missing is the real stories of people like you who are really doing this, really doing it, really going through it. What is it actually like without the, rah-rah fanfare? I'm going for a bikini body. Look at my 6-pack abs. I'm so cool. And when really all of those 6-pack ab shots are peak
Photoshop.
They're photoshopped, and they're peak performance at the end of 6 months of this plus
really hardcore fasting and really low diet, just chicken and rice.
Exactly.
I have bodybuilder friends who tell me all about their diets, and
and in the last few days before the photos, you dehydrate yourself, you get the spray tan, you get the oil, you get the lighting, hurrah, and then boom, it's done, and you never look like that again. I think that's just been really, really, really inspirational. So I'd love to, I want to learn more about your history, but I also want to learn, let's fast forward to today for a little bit. You're on TikTok with 180,000 followers. Is that right? No.
Keep going.
Oh, what? Wait, TikTok has millions.
No, TikTok has 620,000, I believe.
620,000. Yeah. Okay, great. And then you're huge on Insta. You're huge on Facebook.
50,000 on Instagram. I think I just crossed 150,000 on Facebook.
On Facebook, yeah. I'm the old lady. I'm 50 years old, so I think it was Facebook where I saw you. So probably everything I see is a day old. But
and then the hardest one to break through is YouTube. I think I got 4,800.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But YouTube, I'm happy about YouTube because I feel like I'm getting more of a connection with the people who follow me on YouTube, because you get to see. They go way in more details on analytics than any other platform.
Oh, okay.
And it's video basis, not just like your whole month is this.
Yeah.
It's, your video had this, and this is when people swiped off, and this is they get a lot more in detail than everything else.
Oh, fascinating.
This is where they found your video. This is how, people are finding you. This is the keywords people found you with. This is so.
Okay. And so then you get to use that the data that you see on YouTube analytics to help you know how to drive other content you do in the future? Or?
I use it it's so weird. I should use it for YouTube more, but I'm like, this is how people are finding me on YouTube, which is a very prestigious like platform. I use that to make videos for Facebook, for Instagram, for TikTok.
Yeah.
Because it's so much different than you would see people like just lip syncing, just dancing, just so it's I hardly ever do. I used to say I never do trends, but I'd say I hardly ever do them because for me, trends will only get you views. They won't get you followers.
Yeah. Yeah. They won't get people like me who literally have maybe 10 people. I go back onto, Instagram Reels or something because TikTok, I know I should be on TikTok, but I am like, I'm the old lady. I'm like, what's this TikTok thing? I don't know. I'm still learning. I like to think I'm young until these things come up, but because of your strong story, because of who you actually are and what you're going through, it makes me think, go back and actually look you up. What's going on with Bill right now? Where is he at? What's he doing? You're doing two things right now. You're doing a 365 days that you started in September. You want to tell folks about that? And then the 75 hard a little bit. What's going on right now?
75 hard. Like for me, it's like the reading part is the hard part, which is weird because I drink a lot of water already because that was part of my diet isn't like a normal one. Like it's more lifestyle change than a diet.
Yeah.
So the diet's on point. My water intake is on point. The workouts is easy for me because I do it all the time anyways.
Yep.
But the reading is a little bit more difficult for me because I'm a slow reader, but not only slow, but I never owned a book until I was like 35.
So the 75 hard, it is for 75 days you exercise.
You exercise twice a day.
Twice a day.
And at least 45 minutes on each one. And one has to be outside.
One has
you drink a gallon
like
of water a day. You read at least 10 pages of some sort of educational book.
Okay.
You do progress pictures every single day.
And progress pictures.
I don't think I'm missing anything.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think
that's about it for 75 days. How's it going?
And if you miss one, you start all over. If you miss one of them. Oh my gosh. Okay, how's it going? It's going good. We're on day 6.
6. Every day counts. So the guy who says do it every single day and some of it has to be outside, is he from Seattle?
I have no idea.
Because it rains up here. You're going to be outside in the rain. You probably already have.
Yeah, for me, I tell people show up every single day no matter what, because if you constantly say, I'm not going to do it because it's raining.
Yep.
Now I'm not going to do it because it's cold. Now I'm not going to do it because it's too hot. Now I'm not going to do it because my stomach hurts. Now I'm not going to do it because,
my foot
you're going to
hurts.
Constantly come up with something.
That foot's hurting again. That foot might hurt. And you're like, everything hurts, Lynn. Come on.
Yeah.
Who do you recommend 75 hard for?
Nobody. To be honest, like it's hard. But for me, in my mind, I'm thinking, what can I do to constantly keep myself busy? Because I have no job. I have nothing going on.
Yep.
I'm on disability and I need something to keep me busy all the time.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to have that bag of chips, or I'm going to have those Oreos, or I'm going to have, let's order a Domino's or, pizza because I'm bored. Yeah. I'm going to play video games for 12 hours. I'm going to, if I don't stay busy.
Yeah. Yeah. So gotcha. So that's been really good. And I actually, it's interesting, the 75 hard thing too, because I hear a lot of debates about, is it the right thing or not? And I think sometimes not you, other people will make the mistake of thinking this is the all-in-one thing. Like this is my magic bullet that's going to solve all my world's problems. And it's like, no, it's just another tool. It's another way to keep it interesting, to keep mixing it up and keep having something else to do. Because as you've alluded to, it's like, this is a marathon, way bigger than a marathon. And so it's going to take a lot of strategies and a lot of ways to keep it going. And in September, you started a 365 day something. Am I remembering that right? Yeah.
I told myself, if I don't make a dramatic change in like appearance or like being physically fit type of thing in exactly 1 year, I forgot exactly what day I started that, but I have it pinned on all my social medias. Just so people could actually see it. Yeah. And I'm going to delete all my socials if there's no big change. Literally all of them. Yeah.
Are you, wait. Did I hear you right? Wait a minute. I'm starting to panic here. You said, okay. So wait, you were committed to like, all this work has got to pay off or I'm done in a year.
Done with social media. I'm
Done with
never
social
quitting
media.
my health journey. Never.
Okay. Good. But done with social media. Wow.
So, because the way I thought it is, what do I really love? And for me, like doing videos, it's like doing this. This is what I thoroughly enjoy. This is like
you're
I
good
found
at
my
it.
passion. I found what I really like.
Yeah.
It's what I love. And what can I, like, you talk to people and like, how is the biggest sacrifice you could do for a gamer? Like, you make a bet with them to get rid of all his game systems. And then he would really do it. Make a bet with someone, you see people saying, we're going to make a bet that you're not going to make any gambling bets for a whole year, or you owe me I don't know.
Yeah.
So you tell a gambler not to make a bet all year long, or you're going to lose your most favorite thing. And for me, my favorite thing is actually making videos. It's actually like getting to know people in the social media world. Yeah.
So, and you're good at it. Mm-hmm. You're awesome. You're awesome. Yeah. In fact, later on, we're going to do a 1 minute of exercise, right? Together. Yeah.
Move for 1 minute.
Move for 1 minute. Yep. Dive into that for a second. I said 1 minute of exercise. You said move for 1 minute.
There's a difference. Yes.
Yeah.
So the way I tell people is, I actually made a sound on it, and I use it every single time lately, is I don't care what you do, move for 1 minute. Because I found out that I have a lot of disabled followers who enjoy me saying move for 1 minute instead of work out for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Because they can't stand up, so they do this.
Yep.
They do the hands in the air, and I tell them, I don't care if you dance, if you do a workout, if you walk in place, sitting marches, if wave your hands in the air, like just don't care, just have fun with it.
Just move. Yeah.
Just move for 1 minute.
That, and I think that distinction is so important, because the concept of even the word fitness, dun, 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 it makes that's all I need to say right there. But you're going to a gym. Mm-hmm. You're at the athletic center all the time, working out on a gym, on machines. How the heck did you make that transition? Was that just a tra-la-la, easy, go to the gym, no sweat? Or
when I was in my teens, I was really built.
Okay.
Like, I did every single sport I could.
Oh.
I did during the first quarter of the year's football, and then I went to wrestling, and then I did powerlifting and track and field.
Yeah.
And then during the summer, we did a summer football camp, and then, hey, guess what? It's the beginning of the year again. I'm doing football. I'm doing that. So I was constantly doing some sort of sports.
Okay.
And then I found powerlifting my junior year. I didn't know that powerlifting could be a competition. So I was always bigger. I was 250 pounds junior and senior year, 275 in senior.
Yep.
But I found out I love lifting heavy things, and
cool.
So,
okay. Yeah. So it was like returning home.
Because in my senior year, I benched 450 pounds.
Did you really? Yeah. That's impressive.
I'm getting right back up there.
Yeah?
I don't want to do max yet because it's hard to find spotters.
Oh, yeah. And if you do, and when you're doing max, you're more injury prone too. And the last thing you need is to blow out a shoulder and then have to nurse that while you're trying to, Okay. So then going back to the gym for you, because I had it in my head, we were going to have a story about how I was so scared to go to the gym and it was so intense, but no, for you, it was going back. It was like a victory of going back home.
Mainly because I hear horror stories of people videoing fat people shaming people like who are fat. Yeah. But then after a week of going in, actually, no, let's say the very first day, because when I went to the Shelton Athletic Club, I talked to the owner and I was like, hey, I'm fat. What is your guys' policy on if someone fat shames me or if someone records me? Because this is the second gym I went to. The first one says, oh, it never happens. That's all they said.
Oh, shoot.
I was like, what's your policy, though? It's not going to happen. Yeah, but what if it does? Like, it doesn't. Like, that was their only answer.
Excuse me while I blindfold myself and put in earplugs,
So I went to the other gym, Shelton Athletic, and then I asked them the same question. He goes, if you ever come in encounter with that, come to me. I would immediately determine, get rid of their membership. They're never allowed back in. And I was like, this is the gym. Like,
yeah, that's great. And they've given you a spot that feels comfortable. And okay. Yeah. You know what? That's an unfortunate reality, but worth advocating for yourself and asking the question. Can we go back and talk about what happened from athletic kid to bedbound young man, that period of time?
like I said, I was in every single sport I can.
Yeah.
I also joined every club I can because I always wanted to stay busy. So I was in like DECA club. I was in like chess club. I was in Christian something. I forgot what the club was, but it's for Christian kids who wanted to join in after class and after all the school.
Cool.
Like after school activities. Yeah. So we met after the after school activity. But so I was always staying busy because I didn't want to go home because we were poor. Mm-hmm. We didn't have much food. So why go home if all I'm going to do is sit there? So I didn't want to go home much.
So you stayed and even did more. And then you had the period of years that I'm curious about. And again, I mean, I'll keep poking and asking you questions, Bill. And at any time, if you're like, no, Lynn,
I don't care.
You don't care. Okay. So something happened where you went from active sports, powerlifting to
adulthood happened.
To bedbound. Yeah. Adulthood. What?
Yeah. Because when you're in high school, you're like, okay, now we're doing football, this one, now we're doing wrestling, now we're doing track and field. But when you become an adult, you don't have that forced like activity stuff. You have to figure out how to do it all on your own. So I ate the same, but I wasn't doing all those activities. Gotcha. So I went from 275 to like 350 to 400. And then I just kind of hovered around 400 my whole adulthood.
That's what happened right in there. Okay. If you could go back and talk to your 18-year-old self. Yeah.
My counselor just asked me that. I go to counseling every other week. So,
so
she literally just asked me that.
So therapy's a good thing, man. I am open on my podcast. I talk about, and my therapist said, blah, 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 blah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Like, what would you say? What advice would you give them or encouragement or?
Like I told my counselor, I told her that I would tell myself, you're going to go through a lot, but it's going to be worth it. You're going to come out a strong person. You're going to come out with a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom throughout your whole entire life. It's going to get rough throughout your years, but you'll make it. Because in my mind, everything you go through sets you up to who you are now. If you change something, like people say, I want to go back and tell myself to do this different, but then it's not going to make you the person you are today. So I am grateful for everything I went through, to heartbreak, to losing family members, to my sister passing away, to my grandpa passing away, to, all these things that happened in my life. I'm grateful for it because it made me who I am today.
It makes you who you are. Yeah. I think about that too, like with myself, with some rough periods. And I had a period where in 3 years, we had 7 people in my family die, moved, divorced, lost a job, had a sick baby, all in. And I think, if I could do it over again, would I? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like for me, it's the wrong question because it's those experiences made me who I am. Mm-hmm. And I think if I had an easy life, if I never went through a divorce and didn't have, cancer and deaths and all these things in my family, I think I would be the most self-righteous, pompous know-it-all. I know I would be. I mean, I already have this like Pollyanna kind of veneer that comes across that I try really hard not to, but it would be like 12 times worse. Mm-hmm. So I keep working it. What kind of setbacks and challenges have you had on this journey?
Just on this time?
This time. Yeah.
Constantly making up excuses on why I gained certain weight on certain weeks. Like, like every week is not going to be, you're not going to lose weight every single week.
I know.
So for instance, when I first started social media, it was easy because I started out at 600. It was a flat, easy number, 600.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
Yeah. I thought that was just like simple. I'm like, oh wow, that's, so my week 1 weigh-in was 600.
Okay. And
then I went down to 596, then 594, then 590 more. Oh, this is great. And then 597, then 599 and then 560 and then not 560, but 590,
I'm with you.
So it went like this the first few weeks. And then I always try to come up with an excuse on why. Like, I'm retaining water. I did everything right. But in reality, I was just lying to myself. Like not really counting all my calories, not counting the 2 sodas I had then, and, not putting my dessert because I'm embarrassed that I put in, I had dessert, or there's always something you're trying to sneak in, but the only person you're hurting is yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, okay. So that's one of the questions that folks will ask. How does he do it? What's his secret? Is he eating the grapefruit diet? Is he you said it's lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you also, I saw a video a couple of weeks ago where you talked about your TDEE.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So talk about,
you watch all my videos. Yeah.
I do watch it. I do. I did my research. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I really appreciate how you explain things in a way that make a whole lot of sense. Because when folks, so I'll hand it over to you because what is TDEE? And how are you using it to help you?
So TDE is your total daily energy expenditure. It's how much your body burns just by surviving, just by being here, you know. So every body is different because your height, your weight, your activity level, so much goes into factors of it. But since I'm 460, mine's kind of high, 5,000 calories just to survive. That's
your TDEE is 5,000 calories. To maintain.
My activity is really high for what my weight is.
Yep.
It was at 4,100 or 4,000 if I put zero activity.
Yeah.
But since I literally go to the gym, I do workouts, I go on hikes, I go bowling, I'm constantly trying to do something because I don't want to do nothing. I did nothing for so long that I don't want to do that anymore.
It's time to, yeah. Then from there, are you tracking what you eat?
Yes. Every single thing I put in my mouth.
You track it?
Everything, yeah.
A digital tracker? Online?
If we're not somewhere, I have it on my phone in my notes. So I literally write everything down. If I don't have a notepad, you could see all my notes of different things from video ideas to links to a video I found, inspirational, literally anything.
Nice.
Yeah. But I have a notepad. My wife has a notepad. We have some in the car.
Okay.
We have some in my room, in my corner. Literally everywhere I go, there's a notepad in case I find something that I need to write down right now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm fascinated with it because obviously what you're doing is working. You went from bedbound to you're walking and you're rocking and you're working out in the gym and you're doing, you got out of your walker not long ago.
The walker, I don't know when we stopped using it. I really don't because just one day I'm like, we don't need the wheelchair. That was in February. Because in February, March, about April, May is when I'm like, when's the last time we used the wheelchair? It was February.
Cool.
And then we was using the walker. But then sometime between now and then, I don't know when we stopped using the walker because we don't even think about it.
Did you use it at the Puyallup Fair this summer?
Yes.
And that was August?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that's all day walking. Mm-hmm. That's all day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But by then you weren't using it a whole lot then.
Mm-mm. It's even when we go to this, I could use those chairs. It's just their weight limit. It'll go all the way to the bottom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's not. Okay. So then people ask me all the time, what tracker should I use to track my food? And
I like MyFitnessPal.
A lot of people
free.
Use
it has all the stuff. What I really like about it is it keeps track of the food you eat. So when I meal prep a lot.
Yeah.
So when I meal prep, I know exactly we have this chicken, it's seasoned this way. Then we have, veggie noodles, and then we have protein, whatever the meal is that I had. And then I just put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, repeat the same meal,
Yep. And you're okay eating the same meal day after day.
For me, it's less thinking. It's less.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
So people are always saying I don't have time to meal prep. I'm like, how often do you sit in line waiting to order at McDonald's? How often do you sit in line? Take Sunday, buy everything, make everything. You're going to take 3 hours, 2 hours to do all that.
Yeah.
But then when you get home, Monday, you can just grab it, put it in the microwave, put it in the oven, however you want to reheat it. 2 minutes, 4 minutes, it's real quick.
And so much of it too is convenience. I'm hungry now. What are my options? This healthy thing happens to be the easiest thing to eat. That enables my success. Is that part of what you experience too?
Yeah,
totally. Okay, that's great to know about MyFitnessPal. I'm actually on Lose It, but the only reason I'm on Lose It is because 7 years ago, somebody told me about it, and this was before MyFitnessPal was even so big. I started tracking in it, and so now I'm only there because of all my data still. So I've got 7 or 8 years of data in a different one, but I keep hearing MyFitnessPal is great. Okay, somebody is thinking of meal prepping for the first time. What's your advice for them?
Start out slow, start out simple. One of our favorite one is chicken scampi, and it has bell peppers. It has this. It has it just. Sort of simple, chicken and noodle, protein noodles. Something that you could try out and see what you like. I don't know, just simple instead of trying to make it more complicated.
So somebody's listening today and they're saying, okay, that's all great. You know, Bill's got all this energy. Bill's doing it. Bill's good for Bill, but I don't think I can. I don't know. I've tried too many diets. I failed too many times. What do you say to them?
Whether you think or you can or think you can't, you're right. So if you think you can't do it, you're not going to be able to do it.
And if they think they can't, but they'd like to get to can, what do?
Try it out. Like push yourself to say, like the thing I made a video lately is I'm just going to work on just today. You know, don't even think about tomorrow. Don't think about what you're going to do on Friday or Thursday think about what can I do to improve today?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to have an apple for lunch. I'm going to have, fruit and veggies for lunch. And just fix one thing. Like, don't try to fix your entire whole day meal. Just start small. Do that for a few days and then switch to something else that also includes that one thing. So now you're changing two things, Two
things. Well, like you said, you've got your scampi dish you like. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, that probably didn't come on day one of meal prep. No. You're like, no, but now you've got it. So now that scampi dish probably to you now feels simple to put together, right? Because you've done it. You've got it. Yeah. What other favorites?
We like the bowl Big Mac meal. Like it's the Big Mac meal, but it's made healthy and at home, and we just put it in a bowl instead of having bread and.
Okay, tell me about
it's
that.
Really good.
So it's like lettuce, hamburger, cheese.
And we like to use when we make meals. Since I got gout, we can't have hamburger. Oh. So red meat, hamburger,
can't do that.
Yep.
Okay.
So what we do is we use turkey meat, and then we put beef bouillon in when we cook the turkey, and it tastes just like hamburger. It's
Brilliant. Can I steal that and do that at home? Turkey meat. Let me read. Turkey meat, beef bouillon, tastes like your hamburger meat. It's none of this like vegan, not even real food stuff. It's actually the real meat, real deal. What am I not knowing to ask?
The question I get asked all the time is like, what's my current weight? What's my height? There's so many things that people ask all the time.
Yeah.
Like my favorite anime character, because my name is Nativesaiyan, which is Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
But the one question I really like is, what is your daily life like compared to now from what it was before I was bedbound or current bedbound? What's your lifestyle different? That's what I like to ask people too when I interview people. I
would love to hear about that. Yeah. And you're right. I didn't ask about what's your current weight, what's your current height, because it seems like it's a distracting piece. It's not really who you are. Mm-hmm. We aren't our weight. We aren't our height.
Yeah.
We are our souls, our spirits. We're who we are inside. Mm-hmm. And really my whole attitude when I look at, health and fitness, movement, all of that is really all about freedom and just your body having the freedom to do what your amazing spirit wants to do. And that's really to me what it's all about is I want to be able to go out and see the sunrise. I want to see the mountains. And so one of your favorite questions is like, how's your life today? What's a typical day look like for you?
So for me, we actually started waking up at 6 because we're doing the 75 hard.
Yep.
So we wake up every day at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And first thing I do is go on my morning walk. And I started doing that, I want to say 7 months ago. Yeah. Every morning I just go for a walk either to my mailbox, back to my mailbox, back. It's like 8-minute walk to my mailbox and back. It's quite a ways away. I didn't realize how far away because when I first made the video of me walking to my mailbox and walking back, it was like 2.5 years ago, or something like that. And people are like, why is your mailbox so far away? Because I started the video, I'm going to walk to my mailbox and back, and they're thinking like end of your driveway.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like right on your front porch. That's typically, I guess, where I just never even thought, hey, people's mailboxes
are close. Yeah. It's not a 5 or 8 minute walk away.
Yeah, I have to walk down my driveway, walk
all the
down
way to
the
your
cul-de-sac, around the corner, end of the street.
Great. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you do that every morning, and then what?
Then when we get home, lately we've been doing the DDP yoga, Diamond Dallas Page yoga.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then it's usually only 25, 30 minutes, but I have to do 2 45-minute workouts. So we do 15 minutes of the sparring boxing.
Yep.
And my wife is getting good at it, but she has carpal tunnel, so I can't hit her buttocks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, because it aggravates her carpal tunnel.
Okay.
So I do shadow boxing or hit my punching bag.
Yep.
And then after that, we usually have breakfast, which I like high protein breakfast. So we have the sausage meat, the eggs, and I tried the keto bread because I don't want to have high carbs. The keto bread is just so terrible.
Gross. I hate any bread. I know. That's what I'm like. I say things that taste like bark dust and sadness. It's like, oh, come on. Yeah.
So lately our favorite breakfast is we took it from when we tried keto way back in the day. Is you take a boiled egg, cut it in half, you put breakfast meat on it, a slice of cheese, and the other half of the egg, and it's a little tiny sandwich.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm stealing that one too. Literally an egg sandwich. So, okay, great. Then what? And
then after that, we end up either like thinking about what kind of content we want to make, or like I try to find motivation. Like I want to say there's a group of 100 content creators that I watch religiously because of their content. And they're all different niches. They're all just weight loss. They're all just, one person does like adult content that's 18 plus only.
Yeah.
One person does fitness. One person does no BS fitness, where they're literally tell you the truth about your fitness. Like, why did I gain 5 pounds? Because you overate. Yeah. These straight up gets to the point.
Nice.
There's people who, does anime content. There's people who just talk about movies. Like, I don't look at what they're making. Like, I look at what their like angles are, how they speak about how I look at more things in content than just what their topic is. Yeah. I'm looking because I took film school for 2 semesters.
Oh, cool.
And one of them was talking about the mise en scène, which means what you put in your scene.
Oh, yeah.
So if you could look at the scene and you could tell exactly what it's about without them saying a word, they're doing a great job.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Well, and then you're using that for inspiration for yourself and storytelling. You are an amazing storyteller too. So
that's
where did
one
that
of the things
come
I
from?
always work on is I always work on my storytelling. Like, I don't know how to tell a story in 10 minutes. That's why I try to make YouTube content lately about just talking. Yeah. And then I've been improving one thing over, one thing at a time. Let's try to expand on telling this part of the story. Let's try to, work better on this part of the editing. And I could tell you a story in 30 seconds or 40 seconds about my whole entire life, but I have to learn how to
elongate it and make it longer. Well, that's actually really interesting, Bill, because when I came here, I was thinking you are really amazing at short form content. And here I am. Let's do long form. Let's go an hour, however long you want to. And you're doing great. But you're really good at being really succinct too at the same time. So, okay. So then content creation, you've got your cameras, your tripods, your recording devices. And then who does all the editing? Is that you too?
I do it all. Yeah, I do everything. Really? I can't pay. I don't make money to pay people. Yeah. I do it all. Yeah.
Yep. You're doing it. Yeah, you're doing it all. And then and a lot of your stuff seems very real time, like that day. Yep. You record that day and then it goes out that next day. Yeah.
It's literally the same hour. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. I think that's the algorithms like that, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you do that and then lunch, dinner.
Lunch, we've been having one of the things I need to change is having a rice bowl. I can't get away from rice bowls.
Okay.
I love the, teriyaki chicken or General Tso's or, I love the Asian food.
Yep. Yeah.
And then we're trying to learn how to make it more healthier, not as, what's that stuff in Asian food? Very high cholesterol, not cholesterol, but.
The trans fats.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Asian food will have, or at least Americanized Asian food will have a lot of deep fried, breaded, deep fried. Yeah, with a lot of sugar. The sauce is sugar, so you almost might as well eat a bag of
chips. There's so much that.
Yep.
So we figured out how to make it at home, like the low fat soy sauce, and we learned how to air fry stuff. The air fryer is such a game changer.
Cool. That's a new addition.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite in the air fryer?
The chicken nuggets that are like low We took a lot of things from keto diet, which was like keto chicken nuggets, and they were really good.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, that, and then your dinner, and then are you going to bed? You're going to bed early and getting up early.
9,
then. Yeah.
I usually go to bed at 9, and it takes me like I'm not one of those who, as soon as I lay down, no, I'm one of those who I lay down, I roll this way, I roll that way, this way, that way, because most of the time I'm in pain at night. So I don't know how you feel about like me saying I do edibles.
No, that's totally fine.
I do edibles to help me go to sleep.
Yeah. No. And there's actually a lot of, there's nothing off limits on this podcast. You can talk about anything. And as you probably know, there's a lot of research showing that sleep and edibles is one of the things that really does seem to be positively correlated together in a really good way. Yeah. Lots of other things. That's a whole nother podcast, a whole nother topic, but so it helps you go to sleep, no hangover in the morning, which is pretty great. And then you're up and at it the next day.
Yeah.
1 year from now.
Where am I at?
We're in a crystal ball. I know, the impossible question.
I want a 3 in front of my weight.
You want a 3 in front of your weight?
I don't know if you had people on your podcast or know people who were like 400, 500, 600 pounds. And like the worry about like chairs, sitting down, going to a party and not knowing where to sit, going to a restaurant, are their chairs sturdy enough, going to a movie theater, am I going to be able to fit in their seats, going to am I going to be able to ride the roller coaster when I get to the front of the line, am I going to be able to ride an airplane, I don't want to worry about that stuff. For me, the number means nothing if I can't do all that stuff.
It's the freedom. It's the freedom. So that number represents being able to go to somebody's house and not have to even think twice about, is that chair going to work for me or not? Yeah. Okay. Can I dive down another rabbit hole here? What advice do you have for the family, the friends, the people who say, I don't know anybody who's 600 pounds, but now maybe I'm more open-minded than I used to be, and I want to invite more people over. How do I make sure my house is a comfortable place for someone?
I don't know.
I know. I think it's an impossible question. I think it's an unfair, impossible question to be like, because you wouldn't call, like, if I wouldn't want to say, to a friend, hey, come on over. And by the way, I can tell you're more than 400 pounds. So just so you know, I have chairs that won't break. Like, that would not be appropriate, would it?
No,
I know. So, but is there any, you just let it be what it is, or? We ask the people, which it feels weird even to my wife and me now. Like, do you guys have a chair that'll accommodate for my heavier weight? If not, we could bring our own, or I could use my walker. So you're proactive then. Yeah. You just own it. You don't expect. Yeah. And so there's nothing someone could do to proactively, that would just be weird.
Yeah. For me, I don't think you change up your whole living house to accommodate for just one person. I don't know. That's just what I think. So I could bring my own chair. I could bring my walker. I'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Yeah. For some reason, my head is wrapping around that one. Here's another weird question. Do you mind me asking you weird questions?
Yeah, okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, let's get weird.
Okay. Okay. So I've had people come to me before and say, hey, Lynn, I'm worried about my friend because I see them gaining weight. I know this is prickly. We're going to go there. I'm worried about my kid, or I'm worried about my whatever. My advice to him usually is, this is a difficult topic. And I know for sure the right answer is not to go up to him and say, hey, I noticed you're gaining weight. Yeah. From your perspective, what's the best advice to give somebody who thinks they're being well-meaning, but I really think they're actually just brainwashed by culture to pick on weight as a single factor of health when it's really not? Do you know where I'm going with this? Yeah.
There's no easy way to do it. Like, if you're a friend,
come on! I wish there was. I want the easy answer.
But if you're if you're a friend, like if it was my best friend, and I see that he's gained 60 pounds over summer somehow, hey, I see you. Are you okay? I don't know. It just are you doing okay? How's your mental health? How is your family life? Is there something that we could talk about? Maybe just be there and just be a friend.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Cause I don't know how much you caught into my podcast. Cause you said you did a binge on mine I'm one of those, my story is skinny my whole life until recently health fell apart, gained almost 60 pounds. And then I'm in the journey of losing it. And so I'm pretty close. And I remember some well-meaning friends, and that's nothing. I mean, 60 pounds is like, peanuts, right? But I mean, I remember some well-meaning friends having just some sideways like, oh, you really should exercise more, or, oh, I've never seen you like this before, and it just didn't feel, I feel like having gone through that little tiny baby blip of 60 pounds, I knew I'd gained the weight. Like nobody needed to tell me that.
Yeah.
I knew it. But I don't know. I just don't know that it's a productive conversation to have. I don't know. Yeah. It almost.
Because when you gain weight like that, in my research that I've done and in my own like self-analysis, something happened in your life. Yeah. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't, like, did a loved one pass away? Did you just have a breakup? Did you just lose your job that you had for 10 years? Did something had to happen. And the best way I found it is to be there for your friend, is just to be around them. And they're probably lonely. They're probably like, that was just my own assessment with, other people gaining weight, my own self gaining weight.
And that goes back to what you said about just asking, how you doing? Like, how you doing, man? What's going on? And can I be there for you?
Yeah.
I'd say that was true in my case too. My friends who were really there for me and was like, how are you doing? I had some health issues going on and some really big stressors going on.
Yeah.
And so the idea of thinking that I could go through health issues and massive stresses and never stress eat is unrealistic.
Yeah.
And then the food environment wasn't what I call food safe, like a food safe kitchen where, the kitchen in your home, if it's full of food, that's what I call safe. So it's not full of junk and stuff and you have some kind of control, I didn't have that either. I didn't have that food safe. So here I am stressed, health issues. My body is saying, eat, something's wrong with you. You're sick. We need to find more nutrients. Keep eating. Yeah. Having my friends who were like, hey, how you doing? Like, really, how you doing?
Yeah. Because what's the most common response? You say, how you doing? I'm good. I'm okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm great. Life's good.
Yeah. I like to ask, like, how are you really feeling?
Yeah.
Like even online, some of my favorite influencers, like a lot of them meet with me because when they're doing like a live, I'm like, hey, how's your mental health? I like to check up on some of my favorite social media influencers because you put out content every single day, 2, 3, 5 times a day, every single day, whether you're healthy or not, whether you're going through something or not, whether like something happening, you're not sharing that because you want to stay on the algorithm. You want to keep that content coming out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I like to check up on, like, people are like, that's so weird to ask someone, but to them, it's, nobody ever checked up on me.
Yeah.
Like they'd message me and be like, no one's ever asked me that. And I'm breaking down, but I can't show it,
Yeah. Yeah. How you doing today? Mm-hmm. How are you doing?
I'm doing great today. Yeah.
Are you doing great today?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This is fun. Mm-hmm. This has been a lot of fun. Great. Well, I've kind of come to the end of my like canned questions for you here, but is there anything else you would love to share?
How long did it take me to lose the weight? So for me, it was 2019 to current, and I'm down 214 pounds. 214. And I get a lot of backlash saying that you're losing it really slow. You're like, to me, I'm losing it just the right amount. Like I'm still going. I'm never stopping.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Mm-hmm. Totally. That's awesome. All right. What's next?
What's your feeling on motivation?
Oh, how long you got? The concept of motivation, how do you stay motivated and all of that.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
How do you stay motivated? How do you keep doing it? I think when it comes to motivation, you got to have more than one trick. There's a lot of different things. And one of the things I think grit is fundamentally flawed in a lot of ways. I think if somebody says they're relying completely on grit, then they're building a life they don't love.
Mm-hmm.
And so if everything you're doing, you hate your workout, you hate this food you've been eating 12 times, a week, every week for 4 years, and you don't like getting up in the morning, you don't like drinking your water. It's like you're building a life you hate. And like, why would you do that? Why would, the whole point is to build a life you love. So the things you add and change have to be something you love. And I think though there is a piece that really helps me, two things. One is movement comes before motivation, usually. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get moving, then you're motivated. And I forgot the other one. What do you think of motivation?
I get a lot of backlash on my take on motivation because I think motivation is BS.
Yeah.
It's discipline and hard work over motivation any day.
Yeah.
Like people are like, how do you find the motivation to get up every day? I'm like, it's what I have to do to get myself where I want to be.
Yep.
You have to do this. You have to do this. You have to do that, and motivation is like a drug. Mm-hmm. I have so much motivation and it goes away. Yeah. I have so much motivation and it goes away. I have so much, you're going to constantly be looking for that next motivational hit, looking for the next motivational quote, the next motivational video, the next motivational content creator. And you're never going to continue on with your discipline, continue on with your, what you have to do.
Yeah. You got to do it. And you've automated a lot of things too. You've really worked on your meal planning and you've got your routine and those. I mean, even though we don't think of that as motivation, they're like success enablers that help you, keep it going. So you don't have to rely on that so much, that like grit and self-discipline to do it. Yeah. Okay. The other piece that my brain just remembered now, I think accountability for me is a big piece. Accountability. And that's actually partly why I started teaching group fitness.
Oh, nice.
So I started teaching the online classes in COVID because my health was finally getting to where I could exercise in earnest again. I knew that if I was the teacher, I'd be a lot less likely to flake. So I started offering classes online. And with the hopes of people would come and then I would also get to work out. And now here, 3 years later, we started this in COVID. I've got 15 classes a week. I teach like 6 of them and I have 5 instructors and like this whole thing is built from that. But that's most of the exercise I do is because I have to, because I'm the teacher, because I need that level of accountability.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I am no guru that just bounces out of bed and says, let's go for a run. Wee! Like that has never been me. I wish it would, but it isn't. So that's a big piece. Okay, I'm loving your questions there. What else you got?
Oh, what is something you wish you would have known before you started your weight loss journey?
Ooh, yeah.
To take it slow. You don't need to lose 100 pounds in a month. You don't need to lose, all your weight within the first 3 months. Like I see so many people. I don't go to like GNC type of places. Oh. I don't go to any of them where it says lose weight fast. Good. Or, I don't go to the like dietitians or people like weight loss gurus who are like lose 5 pounds in 1 week with me,
Quick and easy.
Yeah.
The shortcut. Quick and easy is fast track. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Some people are caught up in I want results right now. I want it,
Well, that's our culture and our whole life is now. I mean, even social media, it's like, oh, you want to keep it, keep your content down to, what is it, 30 seconds or a minute?
1 minute.
1 minute? Is that what we're keeping it under now? 1 minute? Okay. It's kind of crazy. It's like, no, this whole weight loss journey is a lot more than a minute. Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious about your water. You drink water?
All the time.
All the time. Mm-hmm.
For me, water was a big thing because I was a Dr. Pepper drinker.
Okay.
I was, Pepsi or Coke or, whatever soda. And I didn't realize how much sugar was in them. And, soda was easy to get because we got the generic kind, that just said Coke.
Yep.
Or
Cola.
Or cola. Yeah, cola. Yep. Or Dr. Thunder or, and if you opened it, you have like 45 seconds to drink it or it's completely flat. So you can't open it and just leave it there like you can with Pepsi or Coke,
So when did that change for you?
Probably right around the very, very beginning.
Very, very beginning?
Yeah.
What tips would you have for somebody who's trying to do that transition outside?
There's a lot of like flavored water drips out there, and it'll get you used to it. Like maybe do 1 cup of regular water and then do your mixed drink, and then 1 cup of regular water, 1 cup of, or maybe do it all the flavored and just have 1 cup every day, and then the next week add 2 cups instead of just the 1. Like build up to it instead of just, I'm going to drink, 8 cups of water right today,
Today, yeah. Yep. Just kind of slowly work to it, and that seemed to be good success. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, what else you got?
I don't like that.
Not that one. Maybe this one.
When did you realize you need to lose weight? And what was your aha moment? Like we went over that. It was that bedbound,
ambulance,
call 911. But when did I realize I needed to lose weight was actually around my 21st birthday when I seen a 4 in front of my weight.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't know how. I thought it was just if you work out hard enough, you'll lose weight.
Yep.
I knew, I tell people lately, I learned about what a protein and what a carb is when I first started this weight loss journey.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, you need this amount of carbs, this amount of protein, this amount, and all I knew was, let's hit the gym as hard as we can. Let's run 1 hour. Let's do that. I thought it was all in workout. It's not. It's very 10%, 20% is your workout.
Hardly any of it's the workout, and most of it's diet, and healthy diet especially. And then the whole protein, fat, carb, fiber. Okay, give us a lesson for the brand new beginner. We don't know what a protein, a fat, and a carb is.
Protein is basically your meats, your steak, hamburger, turkey, all that. You have protein that could be in some veggies. Carbs, that I found out there's carbs are also in fruits and veggies, because I thought carbs were only in bread. So when I was cutting out all carbs, I just went out no bread. And that was one of the diets was no carbs at all. So and then I was like, okay, I mean this, and people were telling me, there's carbs in that fruit, there's carbs in that veggie. Like, oh, I didn't know that. And just it's, for me, it took me a long time to learn all that stuff. And it's
so patience, compassion.
But the thing is, I found out I have ADHD this year.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So my wife, she listens to a podcast called ADHD for Badass Woman of something. I don't know. It's a really long title. I'm like, why would you call it like that? Wait,
do they know their audience? Let's make this a short.
But the podcaster had a list of 24 things or 30 things, and says if you have 75% of these, you probably have ADHD. You should go get tested. And I was like, yep, I have it.
Yep.
And I have every single one of them that they said, you can't pay attention, but you could hear and see everything at once.
Yeah.
You could hyperfixate on one thing, but you don't know what's going on around you because you're so focused in on this one thing.
Yeah.
Then I was like, I do all of that. Is that what ADHD is? I didn't know.
You're like, that's
because when I grew up, they put the people who have ADD, ADHD off to the side and said they're special.
Yeah.
They're, they shouldn't be with the normal kids. They shouldn't be, they just put them aside because I grew up in the 80s, 90s. So.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Which is, tough. I wish we didn't do that too. Fascinating. And has that knowledge changed anything for you then?
I don't like the medicine they put me on.
Okay.
Because I found in my life, I learned how to cope with it.
Yeah.
Because the best way I explain to people is I see everything in a really wide lens.
Yeah.
The sounds, the lights, the people motioning. Even now, I'm using the corner of my lenses to see behind me because I see everything.
Wow.
And I could comprehend it all at once.
Yeah.
But when they put me on the meds, I'm looking through a toilet paper roll. And I could only see the small amounts.
Oh, fascinating.
And the doctor, my counselor, they're all like, that's what focus is. I'm like, I don't like it.
You don't like it. Let me go back to being me. Let me go back to being me. You got another? Let's just fly through a couple more and then we'll wrap it up.
Who are your top 3 most influential people?
Ooh, yeah.
So for me, I like content creators who don't hold back on their content. There's people who would I'm going to make content, but I'm not going to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about this because it's so controversial. People are going to get mad at me for that. Like, I like the people who actually like lay it all out.
Yep.
Be like, this is why you're not losing weight, because you're lying to yourself.
The no BS. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the people who like, my favorite is a video editor. His name is Hayden Hillier.
Okay.
He talks about video editing, and he straight up tells you, your videos are terrible because you personally think it's good, but there's a reason you're only getting 10 views, 5 views, because your content sucks.
Nice.
Work on your intro, work on your ums and uhs, and work on your,
Yeah.
learn how to tell a story and not just put out content.
Yeah.
Because people want a story.
Yeah.
Even if it's 10 seconds, there's a story and a 5-second clip because there's a beginning, a middle, and end.
Yeah.
I'm going to prank my mom. Boom. There's a story.
There's a story. Wait.
Okay. We're waiting 5 seconds. What's there's
What's
the mom.
it going to do?
There's, boom, scared. There's the end. Beginning, middle, end. There's a story between every viral video. There's always a story.
Yeah.
And he learns how to tell the story through it.
Oh, that's great. Mm-hmm. That's great. Yeah. Storytelling is super powerful. Mm-hmm. And you're a great storyteller. Is that something you've developed over the years, or no? We talked about that a little bit. Your film school or film.
So I went through the Hayden's like boot camp on how to tell a story. And then for me, I'm like, I do that already.
Nice.
I do this already. I'm like, am I really learning everything, or is just everything I already know? And I just thought I didn't know it. I thought I didn't know how to tell stories. Yeah. But as he's going through it, he's all like, okay, now this is emotion. You have to have some sort of emotion in your video. You have to have some sort of storytelling.
Yes.
You have to tell, this is the hero. Like, he broke down like 5 different ways how to tell a story. Mm-hmm. Like, there's one a hero's journey where you start out like, let's say my day when I was bedbound would be, I wake up at noon, I play video games until like 10, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
I do this, my daily schedule.
You made a couple of videos like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then a hero's journey is you go on a journey and then you come back to the same exact spot, but you're changed as a person, and now you no longer feel the same way you do with the stuff you used to do. Yeah. So that's basically where I'm at now. I'm going through that journey, and I actually try to sit down and play video games for 2 hours, which I can't, because I'm like, what am I doing with my life? I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Wow. So you're sitting there holding the controller as you're playing a game that you should be hyper focused on. Mm-hmm. Your brain is going, why?
Yeah. I can't, I can't sit there and play video games anymore. I used to be able to play, I think the longest I ever did was like 48 hours, literally straight, no breaks. I went, bathroom, and I ate and I did all that. But I did that in front of my video game system.
So when you're doing the video games and your brain is going, why, can't do this, bored, is your brain also saying, this is awesome, I'm glad I'm bored, I'm glad I can, no?
No, I can't do it.
Yeah. No, but is your brain also saying, this is awesome that I'm bored, I'm so glad I can't do this anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So then I start like reading, or I start like writing down video ideas, or I'm like, I have this video I have to edit. Why am I not editing this? Like, I'm wasting time playing video games when I could be doing something else.
Yeah. So can I circle back then, thinking about circling around, 2020 happened. You didn't go through with the bariatrics. Mm-hmm. I think I remember hearing on social from you that you are not going through with it. Mm-mm.
So even to this day, they didn't put me back on the list.
Yeah.
In 2022, I was like, hey, what's going on? They're like, oh, you're going to have to start everything over. And I went through the 10 sessions, I believe it is.
Again?
Of counseling. Yeah, I had to start all over because it was past a year of when they were said. Yeah. And since you went past a year, you have to do everything again.
Yep.
So I was doing the 10, and I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm down 100 and I think at the time 115, or I don't remember exact pounds at the moment, but I'm like, I believe I could do this on my own. I just need to find a doctor or a nutritionist and all that. And you could get it through Medicare, Medicaid. And so I found my team, and I was literally going, like, for one of them, I have to go to Seattle. For another one, I have to go to Bremerton, because I kept going through doctor after doctor that would actually listen.
That same going. Mm-hmm. So you went through that same path again of, if this doctor doesn't work, call another doctor. Mm-hmm. If that doctor doesn't work, call another doctor, and don't give up. And eventually the doctor that's right for you will be there for you. Mm-hmm. So, and you feel like you found a good team now?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's a lot of work, though. That's mind-numbing work to call doctor out. Is it not?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Those are
But it's worth it as soon as you get it all set. Because then you don't have to worry about, are they actually going to listen to me? Are they going to actually like help me out with what I want? And
yeah. Bill, I got to tell you, it is such an honor to meet you today and to be able to just learn more about your journey and what you're going through and your background. And I'm excited for you. I'm sitting here across from you. I'm like, he's doing it. Like you were doing it. You're going to do it. You are succeeding and you are going to continue to succeed. That's what I see. I hope that's what you see too.
Oh yeah. I always tell people, I know I'm going to succeed. It's just a matter of time. Like I got time. Like I put myself in situations to where I'm like, I don't want to talk about this because I know I'm going to get a lot of backlash, but then I have to like, is it worth the backlash of me putting out this type of video type of thing? Because there's a lot of toxicity in weight loss community on social media. There is.
Mm-hmm. There is. It's okay. I was about to wrap us up, but do you mind talking about that just a little bit? Because that's something I'm still trying to crack that nut on that. Like, obviously you're going for, we're not calling it weight loss. We're calling it what?
My health journey. Yeah.
Your health journey. Mm-hmm. You're calling it your health journey. I like that. And then this number on the scale going down just so happens to be a piece of a health journey. Mm-hmm. That feels pretty good. That feels pretty good because you're right. The weight loss industry, I think last I looked, it's like a $14 billion industry annually. It's ridiculous. All preying on our self-esteem, our value as a human being, all saying that if you're thin, you're powerful. If you're fat, you're not. All it's terrible. I almost just bury my head and think I can't even approach that. I just got to help people be healthy and not worry about the whole social media weight loss debacle. I don't know. Where are you on all that?
I find it very hard for me to go in my comment section or my friends' comment section, especially when they do bad.
Yeah.
Because when you do bad on, like, one of my friends disappeared for like 3 months.
Okay.
And I messaged him. I have his number. I texted him, be like, hey, what's going on? He says, I'm just not feeling good mentally. And I just want to disappear. And when he came back, he was like 75 pounds heavier.
Okay.
And people are like, it's okay. You're gaining muscle. It's all water weight. And I'm like, just be honest. You ate way more. You were in a calorie surplus, and that's why. And if you start today, hey, guess what? And by the end of the year, you're going to have a great head start on the New Year's resolution. People, just start again. You gained the weight, start again. Be honest with yourself.
And basically the whole idea of social then and the toxicity of it to just let it float away. You think?
Yeah, it's hard, especially like in my own comment section. I kind of I wouldn't say filter it out, but I try to make people realize that, being negative, I don't know how to say it without, I was just discussing this with my wife. I don't know how to tell people without sounding mean. Uh-huh. Because a lot of people are telling him he gained muscle, and you know how hard it is to gain 40 pounds of muscle?
You have to work really hard.
Really hard.
Really
bodybuilders, it's hard for them to do that in 1 year.
Yep.
So you're not doing, it's hard to tell people, be honest, be truthful. But then if you say that, you're the bad guy. You're the one trying to put people down. You're the one who's not being positive. Because I have a whole thing about positive vibes only.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be positive 100% of the time. There are times when I get mad. You can see it in my videos. There's times I get fed up with my diet, with my weight loss, with my, going to the gym and I make it public. This is honest truth of how people feel.
Yeah.
I'm going to get frustrated because I still see the 674 pound person,
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Seems like your followers are overwhelmingly positive. At least that's what I see. I hope that's what you experience, because that's what I see. And I think you really bring that. You bring that positivity to your content. Yeah. And to the people.
The thing is, I try to respond to, when I put out a video, I sit there for 10, 15 minutes and I'll hit refresh every minute. And if a comment pops up within those 10 minutes, I reply to them. I don't want to spend all day replying to every single comment because that'd be impossible.
Yeah.
You're going to be on your phone all day
long. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I spend 10 minutes. And then when I literally message everyone back who messages me. I'm building my community. Like, I'm not just going to sit there with, 600,000 followers on TikTok and just ignore everyone.
No.
I'm not putting out content, just putting out content. I'm trying to build a community of people, telling them it's okay. Look, we're all humans and we should really support each other.
Yeah. Okay. So Bill, I want everybody listening to follow you if they aren't already. And so you are on TikTok, Insta, Facebook, YouTube. How do people find you? And I'll put it in the show notes too. Nativesaiyan. And how do you spell that?
Nativesaiyan.
And that is for all social?
Yep.
Nice.
I had to argue with Facebook because it's my personal Facebook. Mm-hmm. And they said we can't change your name to it, but we can put your, it's like nickname or something on Facebook.
Oh, weird.
So they changed that. It was Bulldozer because I used to drink a lot and now I don't. I'm 3 years sober.
Okay. Congrats.
And so my drinking name was Bulldozer. So they changed that to Nativesaiyan. And so I'll pop up if you type Nativesaiyan in.
Nativesaiyan. Okay. Mm-hmm. Anywhere. Yeah. So friends, if you are listening to this, go right now to that platform. You can even hit pause on this podcast. Find Nativesaiyan. Follow, because your journey is just incredible. It's been a joy to watch. And I wonder, is it weird at all to have people like me who bring up all these things? You're like, whoa, she really has watched all my videos.
No. I always tell people, if you see me in public, if you see me anywhere, come say hi.
Come say hi. Yeah.
I have a picture, a folder of all the people I met that I take pictures with and videos with and collabed with. And
very cool.
I'm never going to put it out. I just tell people this is just for my own personal.
Yeah. Very cool. Oh my gosh.
I think there's 300 and something pictures in there. Yeah.
Holy cow. Wow. That's amazing. Good. Well, hopefully I'll end up in that box too. So great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. This is just.
Yeah. This is a lot of fun.
Really been an honor. Yeah. Alrighty, friends, have you done the 3 things we mentioned at the beginning of the episode? They're in the show notes. Here we go. Number 1 of 3. If you're new to Couch to Active, go to your app store, download the Couch to Active app, and that way you'll stay right on top of all episodes Couch to Active, and you'll never lose track of it because it will be a little dot on the screen of your device. Number 2 of 3, if you are new to Bill, William Pickernell is what we know him as, give him a follow. His tag again on all platforms is Nativesaiyan, Nativesaiyan. Follow him wherever you go. Give him a special follow on YouTube if you can. That would be lovely. Number 3 of 3, if you're new to Couch to Active, check us out on couch2active.com. If you're thinking, gosh, I want to make this move from Couch to Active and just start moving again, we got you covered. No, I want help one-on-one. I really have some special needs going on. We got you covered. I want to learn how to lose weight, but I want to make sure it's a no fad, no diet. I want to do it like William's doing it. I want to do it healthy. I want to do it right. I want to make it not be a crash diet. We got you covered there too. That's couch2active.com. And when Bill says he does respond to folks, he really does. So find him and give him a hey and say, hey, I heard you on the Couch to Active podcast. Tell him something you heard that you loved. All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you on another episode soon.